Oh, that's what it was. I was just remembering this because, Zach is, like I said, new to us, but if you want to hear more of Zach, you can find him on the road with Tracy Bird. He was nice enough to slum it with Tim Foust and Vernon, but he normally tours with Tracy Bird, another good old Southeast Texas boy. And so Zach was asking us stories, and he's like, do you have any like crazy fans? And I was like, well, just wait a few minutes. No, y'all are respectful. But he was like, do you have anybody that just like, bellies up to the stage or just yells or, waits by the bus? And I'm like, yeah, we do. And then it reminded me of a story that I had sort of forgotten about up to that point, and it was my very first time ever performing at the Ryman Auditorium in Nashville, Tennessee, which is like a very special thing. Mm-hmm. But the first time we ever did it was on the Sing-Off tour with Home Free. It was with Home Free, Voice Play, and the Philharmonic. We were, presenting that season we were all on. We took it on tour after that, and so we're at the Ryman Auditorium, which is absolutely surreal, total dream come true. And we were the headliners, so we did an opening number with all of us, but then we disappeared. I would stay out there and kind of shoot the breeze a little bit with the audience, and then sort of I was the MC of the show as well. So I came back out to introduce a ultimate sing-off, whatever they call the battle thing, between Voice Play and the Philharmonic. Now again, I just come out for that part. One of them had just done a set, and I think we were segueing into the next group. So I come back out to MC the thing, and I'm there in the middle, and I'm like, doing my best Nick Lachey impression. We're trying to make it all dramatic. Next up, a battle, or whatever, between this and it. At that moment, some woman chose that moment to belly up to the stage and go, "I damn!" So I'm just trying to talk to an audience at the Mother Church of Country Music, and there's a lady right here. So dead silence, just me talking, and then every time I take a break, "I damn!" Was anyone at that show? Did y'all know us back then? This is a 100% true story. I should see if it's on YouTube somewhere.
No,
Anyway.
It won't be because the Ryman doesn't let you video.
Oh. Well.
Darn.
I mean, we don't either, but it happens. Speaking of video, I've got a couple of cameras set up, so if we sound good on anything, I'll probably post some clips of this backyard batch later. But anyway, so I'm out there just trying to focus, and this lady's there, and I got family and friends there, and there's industry people there, it's our first time as Home Free performing at the Ryman in Nashville, and there's important people there, and this lady's going, "Hey, damn!" And so I just ignore as best I can, and I look away, I'm like, between the Philharmonic, and I turn my back to this lady with my eyes this big, and the Philharmonic's dying laughing at me, because I'm like... Finally, after a while, she just goes, "Okay, I'll catch you later," and then goes back to her seat. I finish my little spiel, and I'm like, and then I leave, and so the groups are here, the audience is where y'all are, and then I'm supposed to exit between the groups and circle around behind Voice Play and exit the stage. And as I'm doing that, the lights are dimming for the battle, and I just hear Earl from Voice Play go, "Hey, damn!" So, very memorable first time performing at the Ryman Auditorium. So there's a story for you, a completely true story. Fact is always more entertaining than fiction. But another thing that occurred to me, now where'd everybody come from? How many people are non-Texans? Okay, quite a few of y'all. Where'd you come from? Wichita, Kansas. All right. I know Marcia came all the way from Chicago. Do we have any other Midwesterners here? Okay, so most of y'all are kind of Southern anyway. My wife is from Wisconsin, and so it's such an interesting thing because we're always trying to, both places have a reputation. There's Minnesota nice, but then there's Southern hospitality. So we're always arguing over who actually has the nicest people, and it's pretty similar, I've learned. So I was like, well, what are the main differences? And I've noticed it's really mostly down to dialect, and then of course the fact that they stay up there when the birds leave. And so I know, but it's not I grew up in Texas, so there was all these terms that I didn't realize were kind of odd. So I moved away and said them. I remember, like, with him, I would just say things, and then like, it would be like a record scratch. Because I joined Blue Jupiter. It was 2 Minnesota guys, and he's from Pittsburgh, and we're in Minnesota. Like, the first time I ever said the word tump. Do you know what tump means?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I know y'all do. Best I can tell, it's like a mixture of tip and dump, because it's like, hey, careful, don't tump that. It's really for like if you're in a canoe is a good time. Like, hey, chill out, you're about to tump us. That's the thing. And what was funny was that they immediately grabbed the dictionary and they're like, let's see if it's in there. And it's in there, but it said deeply Southern in the dictionary. So that was one. Tump is weird. And then Washateria. That one's kind of dying out locally. I mean, they're there, and but most people just say laundromat these days. But we were just in my hometown, and we're driving around, and he saw Washateria, and he was like, "You gotta be shitting me! They actually write it. It's like on the sign, you know. They don't have Washaterias. You don't have Washaterias in Chicago, do you? Yeah.
Yeah, they don't have
So that's a thing. I don't even think do you have them up here? Okay, so do you have them in Kansas? Washateria? Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense.
It really doesn't, not even to me.
No, I mean, the words together, I just, it's like, so you eat there also? Like, I don't
You
serve
can.
food?
There's usually a vending machine or
I
something.
figured they took a page out of IKEA's book and they're like, well, let's just serve lunch here too. I mean, shop around for furniture and then have some
Some of
Swedish
them.
meatballs.
I mean, eventually Buc-ee's will probably have laundry service too. Anyway, so that's some things. Now, one of my favorite Southernisms. It's like my favorite contraction. It's the word Yaldiv. As in, I wish you and your family had been at the Tim Foust and Friends Backyard Bash. Yaldiv loved it.
Yeah.
The reason I like that, 3 apostrophes in one word. Doesn't look good written, kind of like Washateria. But I realize the main difference between the South and the North, especially when it comes to Texans, is that we drive at a respectable speed.
When?
Well, Texas is so damn big, you'll never get there if you go the speed limit. So that freaked my wife out when she got down here, and and the elderly were driving 15 miles over the 75-mile-an-hour speed limit on the highway. They don't do that shit up there. Probably because half the time the roads are ice, so they have to go under the speed limit. But anyway, not just that. We get a little angry if especially if somebody is in the left lane here, even going the speed limit. We don't like that.
No.
And so my wife, I watched her have road rage for about 4 seconds, and so she's just like about politeness. So she's just like, it makes her mad when people don't turn their blinker on and stuff. So we're waiting to pull out of our neighborhood, and she's driving, and she's like waiting. We're at an intersection. We're waiting to turn left, and there's a car coming. So they don't have their blinker on, so we're waiting, but they end up turning where we are, and so she got mad. She tried to mouth off, but then the driver made eye contact with her. So it went like this. She goes, "Oh yeah, nice blinker." There's Wisconsin for you right there. Can't even follow through on road rage. So anyway, there you go. There's some new stories for Story Time with Tim. Now, when we were getting together to perform,